All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Glad you can make it. Hope you enjoyed an extra day off. Of course, yesterday being Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday, we couldn't meet. And with everybody's different schedules, it's very difficult for me to find a time where we can all meet online. So I've created some activities to get you guys up to beat with the War of 1812. Our third module's dedicated to this war. And just a little bit of an introduction. We know that George Washington was against political parties. And today we're still seeing the crazy things that happen because of these factions in our society. Washington also wanted us to remain neutral. He warned that if we get involved in European affairs, when France and England go back to war, which they always do inevitably, we're going to get dragged into it. And sure enough, in 1812, that's exactly what happened. So this week, you have 4 activities into the War of 1812. The first one is going to give you an overview. Now, this is a guy who makes videos you might have seen before. His name is Hip Hughes, and he makes some pretty cool videos. Um, but for this one, it's about 13 minutes long, and what I really like is he goes through the complicated causes. He goes a little bit deeper than your textbook would in terms of the Native American wars, and even brings in the politics. People actually called this James Madison's War. So I think you're going to enjoy it. It's more of a hyperdoc than an ed puzzle. You'll watch the video and then answer these questions as you go along from the highlights of the war. So that's going to give you a quick introduction to the entire war. Now, the next thing I'm going to ask you guys to do is take a look at our national anthem. Throughout the defense of Baltimore, a Washington lawyer named Francis Scott Key was actually able to witness the attack on Baltimore. And in the morning, he saw the flag was still there, and he wrote a poem about it known as the Star Spangled Banner. So this guided reading activity is going to take you through this, but there's a lot of controversy behind the origin of the melody to the words, as well as, if we're writing about the land of the free, but yet the person who wrote those words is a slave owner, well, it seems to taint it a little bit and not make it so easy to stand up. And speaking of not standing up, as you know, throughout the last year, people have been actually longer than that. People have been showing their displeasure with current events by not standing for the national anthem. And this hyperdoc will get you into that as well. Should take you maybe 20, 30 minutes. We're going to build upon that with a discussion that I call New Anthem. And I'm not really a real big fan of our national anthem, not just the music, but just the story behind it and the controversy. Although I still stand for it, I still respect our country despite all the problems that we're trying to solve. But I'm really curious to get you guys into it. What do you guys think of the national anthem? And I provided an alternate here if you want to take a look at this, the Ballad of New Orleans. Perhaps that might be an interesting um, option. But 50 words for your first post, respond to 2 classmates, and there's some sentence starters if you need them. Now, the last thing you're going to do and where you're going to spend most of your time is on an FRQ. FRQ means free response question. And basically, I'm asking you to take a look at the Battle of New Orleans and choose how you want to write about it. I've given you some options here about what, the gains of the war. Maybe you want to look into the interesting soldiers that Jackson used when he tried to defeat the British. Or perhaps, why did we have this war where over 2,000 British soldiers lost their lives? But the peace treaty was signed 2 weeks earlier. So why did this have to continue? So that's a FRQ. There's resources for you. You take a look at these links. That'll give you some information. And then on the Google Doc below, or first you'll see the grading scale. It's a 5-point scale, very similar to what you'll be doing when you get into 10th and 11th grade with uh, APUSH, AP US History, and AP World. That's kind of how they score your AP exams. So just to give you a taste of that, and then the directions are here, and then you could write your response underneath on this Google Doc. So that's the activities for this week. You'll see them back on our homepage. Let me get to that really quick. And if you have any questions, as you guys all know, I'm only an email away. But 4 activities, I think 110 points. And then this is going to sort of bring us to a real important unit when we get to see one another in person next week. So hope all is well. Take care. And if you have any questions, I'm only an email away. Bye now.